Luke chapter 5, verses 4 and 5 says, "When he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, 'Put out into the deep water and let down your nets for a catch.' 'Master,' Simon replied, 'we've worked hard all night long and caught nothing. But if you say so, I'll let down the nets.'" After Jesus finished teaching, he saw two boats at the edge of Lake Gennesaret. The fishermen were washing their nets after a long and hard night of fishing without catching anything. Jesus got into one of the boats belonging to Simon Peter and started teaching the crowds from the boat. After he finished, he instructed Peter to go out into the deep water and let down his nets for a catch of fish. Though they had worked all night and caught nothing, Peter obeyed the word of the Master. And the result was such a great catch that the nets began to tear and the boats were filled to the point they began to sink. After this, Peter confessed his sin before the Lord, and Jesus called him to catch people. Peter then left everything to follow Jesus. There are many times when Jesus' words are inconvenient for us or inconsistent with our thoughts concerning how things ought to be done. Yet, like Peter, we must be willing to do whatever Jesus' word says, regardless of what we think or how we feel about it. For following the words of the Master will always lead to great blessings, particularly spiritually. We must demonstrate the kind of faith in Jesus Peter demonstrated here, to be challenged and inconvenienced, to simply do whatever the Master says. Today's response to hearing God's word is this: do whatever Jesus says. When you study God's word, you must put aside your own wisdom and thoughts of how you think things ought to go, so that you obey the words of the Master rather than dismiss his words. You must then stand ready and willing to obey whatever the Master says, no matter how inconvenient or costly his command is. You must simply determine that you will take obedient action regarding anything and everything Jesus says to do through the pages of the Bible.